You again. What do you want?
I'm trying to track someone down, and I was hoping you could help me.
I'm busy. Find them yourself.
I'm not asking you to do anything. I just need information. I may have some to share in return. So, I found your name in an old letter. It was addressed to someone by the name of Grace. It was written by Deborah Comenius.
You just can't leave a scab unpicked, can you? Especially if it's not your own.
Deborah wrote of a cabin in the woods. Could this Grace person have found it?
I don't know. It was all a very long time ago. I had forgotten her.
Did Grace ask you for help?
No. Grace Pennington vanished. No one ever saw her again.
Grace Pennington? As in Captain Saul Pennington?
What happened to Grace?
I don't know that either. There had been strife with her father. Then she was gone. And the captain spoke of her no more.
Deborah wrote the letter in February 1688. When did Grace disappear?
Months later, Pennington accused Deborah of being a witch. In my recollection, that moment overshadows all others.
What did Grace look like?
I remember her thin and boyish, encumbered by dresses she hated to wear.
That sounds like Seeker.
Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
It sounds less a name than a calling, but neither mean anything to me. We done.
One more question. Did the school teacher keep a cabin in the woods?
Deborah spent much time walking the woods, trying to understand New Eden, she said. Now that you mention it, I remember a snowstorm. She spent 3 days in a hut not far from here. Southeast, across the drawbridge, along the path towards the mine. If it's still there.
Goodbye, Kate. And be careful.
The mood is heavy. What happened?
What have you done with her, Highlander? Drop the innocent look, son. I'm not buying. That mutinous varlet escapes her cell and you swan in here without a care in the world. You expect me to believe the two unrelated?
Is he looking for a new scapegoat? Already?
Answer the question, McGrath. Where is Ellen Priest?
Any a clue? I didn't even know she'd fled. Whatever she's doing, it's her own endeavour.
She cannot have escaped without help. Again, I smell the deep, dark stench of rebellion.
So dramatic. Should have been an actor.
All right, Captain, settle down. Walk me through what happened.
I don't know what happened, not exactly. The cell keys have vanished, the mutineer with them. Now, her character is one part vinegar and the other malaise. Now, who knows what bitter treason she now foments.
She can't have gone far. If the mountains haven't killed her, she'll be somewhere nearabouts.
While she remains out there, flapping loose like an undone mainsail, there can be no trust in here. Find her, McGrath, and I shall believe you. Find her, and do what must be done.
What do you know of a young woman named Grace?
I don't know where you heard that name, Banisher, but you should not say it again.
It's important, else I wouldn't ask.
Important or not, you'll have no answer.
After all I've done, I rather think you owe me it.
The four told you, that much is true. But the debt will be settled some other way.
I read the name on a letter. It was a very interesting missive. I don't know what went on between you two, but she really hates you.
And what would you have had me do? Abandon my duty as a father? Allow her to stray from the safety of her people? Away from God? Away from me? She wished me to bend. But in this world, those who bend must inevitably break. I stood, stout and firm.
The letter told quite the tale. I'd like to hear your side of it.
I have heard tell, sir, of the contumacious Scots, and I did not hear wrong. For you are indeed relentlessly, perversely, bloody-mindedly obstinate.
Why the mystery?
A stubborn and difficult child. Always quick to disobey. Especially when the orders were mine. Never understood her antagonism or hostility. A sheer bloody-minded antipathy. She didn't get it from her mother. Now I have no daughter, and it is all the better for all concerned.
The letter was clear. You're to blame for what happened to her.
She has no one to blame but herself. I tried to prevent it. She would not listen. I hurt her. That, sir, is laughable. I worked hard to make up for her mistakes, so she would not pay the price for them.
Whatever you did seems to have made things worse.
I stood firm. That, sir, is what must be done, and that, sir, is what I do. I stand firm.
Want to tell me what happened?
If you must know it, I sent her away. I exiled her.
Why? Why would you do that?
She left me with no choice. I caught her in an act of sin. I caught her reading, studying. Witchcraft, sir. I caught her studying witchcraft. There was a book. I don't know where it came from, and damned if I could get rid of it, but she would not put it down. Not even after I forbade it.
Now, why does Lammy Haskell suddenly spring to mind? And Deborah, too.
Though Deborah was innocent, you accused her of witchcraft. Do you deny it?
Deny it? I claim it. By law, she was no witch, but neither was she innocent. She was poison, the ruiner of children. She corrupted my grace. I am a much changed man with the intervening years. Looking back, with the benefit of experience, I was entirely right and would not change a thing.
If I came to learn your daughter survived, if I knew where she was...
No, I'd have nothing to say to her. For me and all who know me, Grace Pennington is long dead. Think what you will of me, I care not. I did what was necessary, and I'd do it again. And that is all there is to say.
Lovely man, really.
Heathens and Philistines, the lot.
A ghost damaged the sign. Someone left in a hurry. No spectral stains.
The lock wasn't picked. Pennington's missing keys. Well, would you look at that?
No mouse did that.
How does Pennington not know about this?
His head's up his arse, that's how. Either we have a giant rabbit, or this is where she went.
Giant rabbit? There's the thought.
In her haste, she dropped something.
Helen could draw. These are fantastic.
But where is she? Maybe we should start at her quarters. One time in a prison in Paris, I banished the rotting corpse of a bishop.
This is gonna be good.
There was a growling in the dungeon, so down I went alone. Empty cell, door locked, no pick. No idea how he got out, but he did. Turns out the bishop was possessed by a tyrant. Killed all the prisoners, was planning a rebellion, a riot of the dead. I've no idea why he was there, and at the end, neither did he, but it took me 3 days to clear the building.
Oh la la.
have another in sight.
Oh, there, corrupted weeds.
Whoops. Just how I like it. Ah, the cabin from Helen's drawings.
that some kind of cenotaph?
I think so. A memorial to hunters lost. All hunters lost.
You're done.
Watch out. We made it angry.
Once I bruise the heart, destroy the wisps within its roots. Found something.
Get rid of the other spectre first.
We Highland kiss for you. This is the place.
You. I had a feeling we'd be crossing paths again. If Pennington sent you, you may run along. I've nothing to say to any of you.
I'm curious. How did you escape without being noticed?
I know Fort Jericho better than anyone. It has many ins and outs. If Pennington hadn't had his head up his own arse, he'd have known not to put me in those cells.
That's what I said.
Did you have help?
I still have friends in the fort, and if you think I'm going to tell you more than that, then you really are mistaken about my character.
You weren't easy to find. Why here in particular?
I was with child when the first plague came. I gave birth surrounded by the dead and dying. My son never had a chance. I wished to bury him away from the mines, away from the garrison. Somewhere his and his alone. I brought him here. I left him here. And I nearly did not make it back.
That's a lot of loss for one person. I am sorry.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't wish it on anyone.
Sebastian's husk vanished. It must have been hard to lose him all over again. How are you bedding up?
My days are quiet. Some are better than others. At times, I am grateful for the memories. At others, they feel like fingers clamped upon my throat. I'm still learning to live around my grief.
I wish I could tell you that time heals all, but I'm still learning too. Maybe it doesn't.
One day, it will be safe to remember. In this, I trust. Count your blessings in the moment, for both are fleeting.
What are you doing up here?
Did Pennington send you? Yes or no?
Aye, he sent me. He thinks you plot against him.
Let him. Let him imagine me lurking in the dark, waiting for him to turn his back. Let him live in his delusion.
I don't think he needs you for that.
If it's not me, it'll be someone else. A man in that state needs an enemy, real or imagined. I took that role. I hereby resign. I am done with Pennington, Fort Jericho, and all in it.
What's the plan? You can't mean to stay here forever.
I could. But no. When I'm ready, and the road is open, I'll leave for Boston and begin anew. For most of my life, death has walked with me. But to see how you Banishers walk proud beside it, well, it's as if you dance along the road with death. That leads me to wonder. Perhaps it's time I embraced my gift and put it to good use. Perhaps I too may dance along with death.
Have you always been sensitive to the invisible?
I suppose I have. As a child, we'd play secret games in which we'd summon spirits, as you do. For me, though, sometimes they came. I remember, for weeks after my grandmother passed, I'd see her sitting at the foot of my bed. My father ascribed it to a wild imagination. He would not indulge it.
You weren't imagining it. You have talent. Match it to your prowess in the fight, and you'd make a fine banisher.
I was hoping to find someone to guide me on that path.
It's a hard life. Dangerous. Lots of death. Anger, resentment. Grief.
Well, then I've been training for it for years.
Be warned, child's play it is not. There's a lot more to it than clubbing spectres.
Show me. Show me a real foe with a real banisher fight. Teach me.
I'd happily be your teacher, but recent events mean I no longer qualify. Looks like you got yourself a new apprentice, Red.
All right, I'll step up. Till you find someone better, mind. Let's show Helen how banishers fight.
First of all, keep in mind that fighting spectres is rarely easy. They can be tricky.
Aye, caution is always advised. But you're in good hands.
I know a cave where we might find a fight. Follow me. And Taya, how did you become a banisher?
My mother was a healer. She had the gift. Taught me all she knew. But I was different. I had a gift for ghosts. At 15, I set off to develop it. I knew no one and had nothing. But my teachers saw my yearning for knowledge and took me on. And here I am.
Quite the adventure. We're almost there. This is the place.
Good instincts. This cave is badly stained.
Time to dig. We use runes and words of power to make spirits manifest.
Do you pluck them from thin air with your magic rings?
It's more that we will them to come to us. The rings help channel the power.
My voice commands you! Unveil!
Once more with feeling. This isn't over yet.
It likes us, mate.
They never learn, do they?
Snap out of it!
More fun.
Fine work. Both of you.
And that's how a fight goes.
Most of the time.
Except when your partner drops his sword or loses the tie.
Fairy stories. Neither of those entirely plausible things has ever happened.
You fight well, Banishers.
As do you.
If I didn't, I'd be dead.
If you're truly serious about becoming a Banisher, I may have a contact in Boston who could help. Her name is Elizabeth Grey. You should find her, if she wants to be found, at the Green Dragon, not half a mile from the wharf. Tell her I sent you. When you meet her, please tell her she is now the best female Banisher in the land.
She's interesting. I'd do some reading if I were you. Might help you make a good impression. Here, this book served me well. It'll serve you too.
I shall treasure it. Thank you. Thank you both so much.
Take care, Helen.
Any last advice for a young-ish apprentice before you go?
Love life. Even when you lack the stomach for it.
Perhaps we'll meet again.
God willing, we shall.
Back to Pennington to give him the news of Helen's passing.
It's such a good lie, it's almost true. Elizabeth's still in Boston?
You know Elizabeth. She loves a bit of culture. I'm told Boston has many taverns.
I'd assumed she was dead.
Most people assume she's dead. She likes it that way.
She and Helen are talking cheddar.
Yep. They're gonna have so much fun.
Is it just me, or?
I felt it too.
We need to stop at some point. Here would be all right.
Report. Where's Priest?
From one soldier to another, and I'll not put it in writing, but tell him Priest shall pose you no more problems.
My word. Such terrible tidings. Thank you. Not your affair, of course, and so mine. From one soldier to another, and I'll not put it in writing, but I'll not mind if the purse on my desk goes missing while my back is turned.
How are you doing, sir?
How am I doing? How am I doing? It's strange. Ellen Priest's pricking thorn is plucked, the rage abates, the troop rebuilds. And yet, though the danger is past, I feel it, present. I see things in the shadows. An unexpected noise may startle me, but that's not the worst. The worst is, I miss it. I miss the simplicity of inescapable doom. The darkness calls me back. It is the strangest thing.
Nothing strange about it, Captain. In time, it fades. There'll always be moments you hear the call. Just be sure not to answer it. Permission to take my leave, Captain?
Permission granted.
Odd way to make money, but I'll take it.
Helen's free, Pennington is happy for Pennington, and soon there'll be a new Banisher. Everyone wins.
Kate, good day to you. So, you came back?
As promised. And what ill wind brings you here?
It's time we talked of Deborah.
I've never liked you, McWraith. But I suppose you deserve answers.
How did you meet?
I'll not answer that. It's the moment of my life I cherish most. Words would only fail it. I will say this, despite my grief. For a time, I laid my head on Deborah Comenius's bosom. And for that, I'll be forever grateful. I will...
What happened to her?
Pennington levelled accusations against her. Vile accusations. Many delighted in them. She was clever. She was free. She cherished the truth, of the mind and of the heart. Some took that for godlessness, but I've never met a person more divine.
Her ghost appeared when we downed the beast. Have you seen her since?
God save me, no. My heart would not bear it. Might it happen yet?
I don't believe she wished to frighten you. I doubt she'll bother you again. She has business elsewhere.
If ever you should deal with Deborah, deal quick. Let her not suffer long. For her sake, and for mine.
How's your sister?
She's gone. When I told of what she'd done, she had no choice but to leave.
Will you make peace?
I don't know. She sent friends and neighbours to their deaths. I'd like to think she'd not have done the same to me. But I'll never know for sure.
Did telling the truth serve you?
The truth is dangerous. Not least to she who tells it. But the cut is clean. The rot is gone. Her lies can harm us no more.
Now that you're in charge, what's the word in camp, may I ask?
I've little time, but you may ask.
What's your plan?
I've thought long and hard about this. My conclusion, we should stay here. Start afresh.
Here? In the woods?
They won't always be the woods. We'll clear the land, plant it, make something of it. We owe it to those who died.
Goodbye to you, Huntress. I look forward to seeing things improve, now that you're in charge.
Fare you well, Mr. McWraith.
Bloody mongrel! Piss off!
Symbols. The hut may be near. I sense magic. Could Seeker be here?
It's faded with age. Hard to know what it was for.
Perhaps you let me take the lead here. Hogging all the fun.
A wee Highland kiss for you.
This can't be a coincidence. Could Grace be Seeker? Dusty. Seeker hasn't been here for a long time.
Anyone home? Deborah knew about this place.
Focus on the matter at hand, Red.
I am. Fine wardrobe for a youngster.
They're rags.
And they won't help us find her. Aye.
More demonology. Unusual for a witch. These two schools of magic don't usually see eye to eye. Perhaps Lammy could help us with the spell.
Quite the fall from grace.
That's not funny, and neither is this.
Aye, fair enough.
Seeker drew this. Now we know she's in the mountains. There's a ritual of dissimulation, and we need the catalyst. Same circle as the one on the entrance. The circle powers the door, but I don't know the symbol. I don't know it, but I think Lammy might. We did well to come here. Now we know where she's hiding. Soon we'll be able to use the pond. All we need is the key to the dissimulation spell, and Lammy Haskell will help us with that.
Sure.
Whatever it is, out with it.
Oh, now what I say is worth listening to.
Only when it doesn't slow us down.
You're in an awful hurry. It's as if you can't wait to leave.
It's not like that. It's complicated.
Aye, alright. I believe you.
They're not yet over your accusations, it seems.
As individuals, we can do better. Banishers, you are a sight for sore eyes, and I do admit my eyes are sore.
Lamentation. Or are you the Honourable Mr. Haskell now?
Are we interrupting?
Yes, you are. But your interruption is the latest of many. Things are not going well.
So, Lammy, what's the word around here?
What do you wish to know?
Tell me about the settlers. Anything strange to mention? Stranger than usual, I mean.
Folk have been quite lovely as it happens. Each tries to do their best and spirits are high. Thinking about it, that's actually really strange. Really strange indeed.
How fares New Eden and the Harrows?
Folk lose faith. This would be a good thing, except they lose their hope with it. I admit, I don't know what to do about it.
What about you, Lammy? How are you?
I'm well. Or as well as I could wish for. But I still have questions for you, mistress.
We have time for one or two.
I've seen how you move. Do time and space work differently for you?
Not so much when I'm with the living. But yes, they're different.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
And what do you miss from being alive?
A big question. Too big to answer. Where would I start? I miss all of it.
May I ask another?
Yes, you may.
Did you see God? Have you met angels? What about demons? Who's in charge in the afterlife?
I'm afraid I have no answer for you.
May I ask another?
Let's leave it there.
We overheard you. What are you working on?
I, to my horror, am working on a speech. It's terrible. I don't even know where to start.
I'd speak of past mistakes and how they show you the way to a better future.
That might just work. Thank you!
What's going on here, Lamentation Haskell?
Nothing's going on here. Not really. All right. Folk despair. They've lost trust in my father. They finished the meeting house, but... well, people talk and foolish people shout. In their wisdom, the flock decided that we were heretics, or worse. They took down the wards, burned our books, and then set fire to our house.
They're afraid. Can you blame them?
No, it was inevitable. If anything, I blame myself for failing to see it coming. Without the wards, the situation worsens, and folk blame my father.
Would they be wrong?
Right or wrong, spectres walk once more, and we need the services of a banisher. Or two. If you can bring people peace, I doubt they'll be grateful. But I shall.
Who ordered the books burned?
I don't know. Does it matter? It was chaos. I brought my father to safety out of their sight. When I came back the next day, it was like nothing had happened. The pyre was cooling. All my ghosts' wards were destroyed. No one said a word. Funny thing is, they did not find the books I'd already borrowed from my father's shelves. If they had, I'd now be dead.
We found a page ripped from a book. Here, do you recognize it?
Let me see. Is this from the Trismegistus riddles? Yes, it seems to be. Why would you bring me one mildewed page from an amusing but harmless little book?
Why would you fail to disclose that you'd given another ritual to another friend?
It was a long time ago. I said after Caleb I'd distribute no more rituals, and that's what I've done. Not done.
We know. But we're looking for Grace Pennington now, and we were hoping you'd help us find her.
Who?
Really, boy?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mistress Antea. You said Grace's name, and it is my reflex to protect her.
Ever heard of someone named Seeker?
Seeker? No. Sounds like a title, like my true pursuer. This Seeker... Is she Grace? Is she alive? Do you know where she is?
We think she's Grace. We hope she's still alive. We're trying to find her.
We think she's hidden herself away behind your dissimulation spell.
Then you'll need to unravel it. Shouldn't be too difficult once you're armed with the salient facts.
When was the last time you saw Grace Pennington?
It had to be a few days after I brought her the cloaking ritual. When I returned to visit, the hut had disappeared. Which makes sense now that I think of it.
That's it? You never again tried to find your best friend, your only friend.
Well, you see, some weeks later, the first whispers of witchcraft started to fly about town. I kept my head down, and Grace was better off out of it. I was right. And I'm glad she escaped. Strange to think of her again after so long.
How does the ritual work?
It creates illusions so effective that they deceive even the keenest eye. There are more effective cloaking spells, but the Trismegistus riddles do have a simple elegance.
The short version, please, ending with how we break it.
Yes, of course. To achieve that, all you need is the caster's full name and the symbol used to make fast the illusion.
Grace Pennington and a triangle pointing downwards.
Well then, now all you need is a simple counterspell from the same book and... Oh my.
What now?
I'm afraid I left my copy in the Araloo. In the void.
That's just great. Just great.
Yes, but in my defense, once you've retrieved the book, dispelling Grace's illusion will be like a walk in the park. Comparatively speaking.
Thank you for your help.
Could you tell Grace that I'm still her friend? I'd be glad to see her again.
Once we found her, we'll be glad to tell her.
We must look at our past. Our mistakes. Our past mistakes?